Right. So today we're going to take a deep dive into this new app. It's called blissio.ai.
Blissio?
Yeah. And it's all about I don't know, they say they can help us have a healthier relationship with our phones.
Interesting.
Which is kind of funny. We're talking about this on a podcast, but
right.
Maybe it'll inspire all of us to, maybe put our phones down for a little bit afterwards.
A little digital detax.
Yeah, exactly. A little digital detox.
I like that.
But we've been going through their website, and, I think even if you don't end up downloading the app,
yeah,
there are some pretty interesting ideas there. So
absolutely.
So I don't know. Have you ever felt that feeling where you're just way too connected to your phone? You're constantly checking it and
all the time.
Even when there's probably nothing new to see.
Oh yeah, definitely. And there's actually a ton of research coming out now about how all this excessive phone use can actually have some pretty serious downsides.
Like what?
Well, it can really reduce your productivity, it can increase stress, mess with your sleep.
Yeah.
It can even cause problems in your relationships,
Yeah, and Blissio actually talks about some of those things, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. And they even highlight some specific problems. Have you ever heard of doom scrolling?
Doom scrolling?
Yeah, it's basically where you're endlessly scrolling through negative news feeds and social media, even when it's making you anxious or depressed.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I've definitely done that.
It's like a black hole.
So how does Blissio actually help with that? What do they do?
Well, it seems like they focus on a few key things. First of all, they let you block those really distracting apps, the ones that just suck you in.
Yeah.
They help you set overall screen time limit, so you're not on your phone constantly.
Right.
But here's the really interesting part. They actually suggest offline activities as alternatives to just being on your phone all the time.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're not just cutting yourself off from your phone. They're actually giving you other options of things to do.
That's smart.
Yeah, and it's actually backed up by science. There's a lot of research about how spending time in nature or pursuing hobbies or just disconnecting from the digital world can be really beneficial.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's they're gently trying to nudge you towards those healthier habits.
So it's not just, restrictions. They're actually giving you options for what to do instead of mindlessly scrolling.
Exactly.
While you're looking at their website. They have a ton of different suggestions.
Yeah.
Everything from creative things you can do to physical activities to just, spending time with people you care about.
It's a good point. Instead of scrolling through social media, maybe actually connect with people in the real world.
Exactly.
Much healthier.
So I'm curious about the tech side of this. How do they tailor this whole thing to each individual person? They talk a lot about AI and personalization.
Yeah.
But what does it actually mean in practice?
Right. Well, it seems like their AI engine actually